I spoke. Joe Ziming's helpless voice came over. Sean, it's not possible. The quality of the materials on the construction site. Something happened. This is what my dad told me. I can't help but complete it. Is it very painful.ah.yo? You take a break first? It's all my fault for not arranging the time in advance. When we were in love, both dad and brother disagreed because of my family's financial situation. The conditions are too good and Joe Ziming is just a poor young man with nothing. He hasn't had an easy time at my house these years, especially when my dad and brother gave him orders. I dare not neglect, afraid of being scolded if I don't do well. Listening to him say so, I instantly have no complaints. I said, you're busy, it doesn't hurt much. I'll just take a break and go home and lie down. Ziming kissed me over the phone and said, okay, I'll make you a delicious tonic tonight. Supplement. Although I was disappointed, the thought of Ziming's difficulties made me understand him. However, the way I walked out of the hospital with my stomach in my hands was not very attractive. Mr. Xiao, at the entrance of the hospital, I crouched on the roadside in pain when suddenly a woman approached me, very unfamiliar. Are you? I don't know her. She reached out to help me and explained to me, Mr. Xiao, I am Mr. Zhao's new assistant. Sayama just arrived at the company a week ago. The little horse looked around and asked in confusion, Mr. Xiao, is it just you? I still feel a lot of pain and don't want to say one more word. Mr. Xiao, let me take you back. At this moment, I feel really uncomfortable and naturally grateful for someone's help. Thank you. Thank you. Sayama smiled and said, Mr. Xiao, this is just right. I also have to thank Mr. Zhou for ignoring me. Pregnant and allowed me to start working, but also allowed me to take maternity leave for a checkup. The pony lowered its head and caressed its relatively flat lower abdomen, with a face full of maternal radiance, entering the workforce with pregnancy in mind. I was slightly surprised. Who made the decision? The workload of the assistant is so heavy. Recruiting one. What should I do if a pregnant woman has an accident? To my surprise, the pony helped me onto my own car. This BMW 7 Series was given to me by my brother when I graduated. Initially, it was driven by Joe Ziming, but later. He changed to a sports car, and this car is mostly left in the company. Whoever uses it will drive it. Sayama kept chattering about how good the company was and how well Joe Ziming treated her with a look on her face, wearing a passionate smile. I felt unbearable pain lying in my chair and resting with my eyes closed, without paying much attention to her. Although he was drowsy, he didn't miss any information. Little Ma drove this car very smoothly, and it looks like it's always open. My boyfriend has another woman by his side. I just came back from the gym, and didn't expect to run into you guys, didn't I? Can you add me one? After finishing speaking, I deliberately paused for a moment, hesitated and glanced at him, saying, if it's not possible. If that's the case, I'll go back first. He seems to have forgotten about the past, waving at me and then smiling at his team. The person said, this is my girlfriend, Jiang Yue. They were stunned for a moment. First they looked at Xiaoxuan on one side and then it seemed like there was nothing. It happened before. And he looked at me with a smile and said, so it's Song Ma's girlfriend. Hey. Oh. I haven't seen you for a few days. Why are you so beautiful? I can't even recognize it anymore. I smiled falsely, and then sat on the other side of Songmo, saying, I wasn't before. Did you have some conflicts with Songmo? Later on, I thought it was because I thought too much about myself. I care about him and then I hurt others. Now let's shift our focus to fitness. As she spoke, she looked at Xiaoxuan on the side and said, Xiaoxuan, are you okay? I'm on your social media. I saw it. I'm really sorry for causing you trouble. It's all my fault. I looked at that. The comments that scolded me deeply, realized my mistake. Before she could say anything, I told Songmo again that I was really reflecting. I used to. It was because I loved him too much that I did that. Later on, I thought about it and Xiaoxuan said I wasn't good looking. There is a reason, so I work hard to lose weight. Every time I go out, I put on makeup and shake it. Shake his arm and act coquettishly towards him, asking him to forgive me. The people next to her kept teasing, but Xiaoxuan said she didn't say I wasn't good looking and nobody paid attention to me, and he seemed to be very useful. I looked at it and felt it was really ridiculous in my heart. He certainly said he would forgive me, and then petted my head with indulgence. He whispered to me saying that he later thought about it, and felt that our communication might be, there's a problem, it's best if I can figure it out, and then he also thinks he's not right, and even said I feel very sorry for you. Of course. I tearfully said that he was really great, but I understand in my heart that I feel so guilty, so sorry for me. If he hadn't been in contact with me for a month, he would just be showing off. So you think just a few casual words can trick me back into being obedient? It seems that I have to do with him. He picked up the vegetables for me, and I smiled as I picked them up in a bowl. Then, I looked at Xiaoxuan on the side. Her face was twisted with anger. She used to get angry too. When she was flirting with Song Mo, it seemed like she never thought about it. I will get angry. I just smiled and didn't say anything. Everything was in silence. Later on, everyone continued to fight and fuss, and Xiaoxuan wanted to regain control several times, but I planned to dot after a month of preparation and countless internal exercises. How could she possibly succeed? So that night, I, or rather Song Mo, and I became the center of the entire gathering. Heart. Xiaoxuan was so angry that she said she had to leave early, and even glanced at Song Mo, but Song Mo, busy helping me pick up vegetables, there's no intention of giving her anything. It's really funny. When I was sincere to him, he trampled my heart on the ground. Now I'm pretending to be a bit obedient, but he's benefited immensely. Wishing he could have all the good things, give it to me. I looked at his appearance and then at the back of Xiaoxuan leaving, feeling really happy in my heart. But I know this is just the beginning. It was her surprise. She will fight back. There is still half a month until the end of the semester, and there are still many things to do. He is extremely good looking even if he is just wearing an ordinary t-shirt. Casually sitting on the barbecue stall, it looks really beautiful. He seemed to notice me looking at him, so he smiled at me and raised his hand. Cup. Is this greeting me? I was a bit confused, then I smiled at him, nodded and raised my glass, which was considered a response. Should. What's wrong? Song Moki asked me strangely. I shook my head and smiled, saying it was okay, but I felt like I was a bit drunk. Fortunately, the gathering was almost over, and he took me back. This is the first time in a month that he has seen me off, and this is also the first time in a month that he has seen me off, talking to me for the first time. I have been following him for 15 years, and in order to make me give up, he introduced his friend to me for a blind date. I have never neglected myself or them again for the sake of Ling Xun, even though I still love him. Around this moment, he finally realized that even I was leaving him. Upon returning home, Song Jihang had already prepared his meal and was waiting for me. He is wearing a white t-shirt and gray home pants, with a slender and thin figure and a slightly long bangs. He blinked and looked at me with some grievances, saying, "The vegetables have cooled down." One sentence softened my heart. The next day we were together. He confessed to me that he knew I liked Ling Chi, and deliberately begged for help. The red line, led by Ling Chi, made me give up on Ling Chi and turn to his embrace. But he couldn't bear to see me sad, and he was even more afraid that I would hate him. Afterwards he regretted it so much that he wished he could bite me to death. Myself. Even if I tell him, I no longer love Ling Chi. Not now, it was a long time ago when my feelings for him were torn apart. The tug saw gradually wears out. But Song Jihang still has some worries about gains and losses. Every encounter between me and Ling Chi will make him feel uneasy, standing in front of the mirror with an empty bottle and gesturing to his neck for half a day, vowing to get one. Why hasn't it worked? Do you want me to help you? After speaking, I regretted it because he hugged me onto the sofa and pressed me up to my side. Song Jihang suddenly let out a muffled groan, his body becoming increasingly stiff. I don't know how long it will take to produce a mark. What is it? I just realized that his ears were red and his Adam's apple was constantly rolling. I quickly retreated, but he still held me down and even put one hand into my clothes. Inside. Is that okay? He begged. I took a heavy breath and weakly refused. Lips buried their heads on the side of my neck, panting softly. My girlfriend told me she's pregnant and the child belongs to me. At that moment, Lin Chan coquettishly said, "Wait for you to come back." I couldn't help but sneer in my heart, so I pretended to be very excited and hung up the phone. With such a sweet and greasy voice, it seems like I'm going to recommend myself as a pillow. After working hard for so many years, drinking and socializing have already hurt my stomach. I don't want to do it for these dogs anymore. Occasional vehicles pass by and the cold and icy wind blows, making people feel even more excited. Clear-headed, wipe my hands and face and softly blame me for not drinking so much alcohol. All the things from the past came to my mind, but she didn't care and kept sticking to me. I squinted my eyes and looked around. The room was sprinkled with rose petals. I closed my eyes in despair and started pretending to sleep. Lin Chen. Xu Hong. I will also give you a gift. In the morning, Lin Chan woke me up with a smile, and the table was already prepared with a sumptuous breakfast. Thinking that the task was completed and walked towards the restaurant with a swaying willow wind. This woman who considers herself smart doesn't know the saying. Being smart is actually being smart. Wrong. In the next few days, I came home later and later, and Lin Qian had no doubts. Due to the expansion of the Northwest market, Xu Hong works exceptionally hard and I can't help but waste more time in the company. Less than a month later, Lin Qian happily congratulated me with a test report. Husband, I'm pregnant. As I watched her jump with joy, I poured a basin of cold water and pretended to be puzzled, asking, "Isn't it true that we haven't had children in the past few years?" Lin Qian pouted in dissatisfaction. "It's not that you didn't take proper safety measures that night," and smiled at her. Laugh. "Husband, haven't you always wanted a child?" Lin Qian looked at me and didn't speak. She leaned against me, took my hand, and caressed her little one. Abdomen. There is a little life. I don't know if he has the chance to be born in this world. Once upon a time, watching my colleagues getting married and having children, I thought about Lin Qian being alone. Man, every night when I come home from work, I really want to have a child. Now that she has a child in her belly, I only feel disgust, hatred. Husband, please be gentle. Lin Qian noticed that I was lost in thought, and the force in her hand was a bit heavy. She couldn't help but remind me, "I'm so happy." I smiled at her and withdrew my hand, saying, "In a few days after Xu Hong's birthday, I would like to invite him over to have a meal at home." Lin Qian's eyelashes trembled slightly and she leaned towards me and said, "Where is there? So delicate." Lin Qian's face suddenly turned cold with a shudder. "You can invite your colleagues or other friends. Why invite Zhang Yan? I can't stand it the most." That superior demeanor. Zhang Yan is Xu Hong's lover, born into a wealthy family and an only child. She has been delicate since childhood. Being accustomed to nurturing one's